Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mupo and Friends, and I'm Michele Mupo.
And Jessilyn Persson. We're brought to you by Mupo TV. You can catch all our shows at www.mupoentertainment.com. And you can also live chat with us every Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern, on our YouTube channel during the premiere of each episode.
Yes, tune in Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern. And because our chats are always so rocking, we always have fun, and you never know which guest is actually going to come in and surprise us at the Sunday 2 p.m. live chat preview.
Yes, we do. And thank you for tuning into our show where we love bringing you awesome celebrities and entrepreneurs you want to know. So, Michele, did you have a Mupo awesome week?
I had an absolutely Mupo awesome week. What about you?
Absolutely. Always have a Mupo awesome week. We're going to take a commercial break and we'll be back with our special guest. Welcome back to Mupo and Friends. Our special guest today is an actor of the stage and the big and small screen, as well as a producer and director. Born into a theatrical family, he started performing at the age of 10, doing skits for them. While he already has an awesome resume of work behind him, right now he's most familiar to audiences as Bully David in the Netflix series Cobra Kai. Please welcome Jesse Cove. Hello, Jesse. How are you?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey,
Thanks for having me.
Welcome aboard. Now,
I'm a lot nicer in real life, I promise. Maybe.
I believe it because I see that a lot. Now, you said that great cinema inspired you. What films in particular were your motivation in life?
Well, growing up, I watched so many classic movies, that a lot of people, unfortunately, don't really know enough about, like today, Once Upon a Time in the West, Fistful of Dollars, a lot of like Clint Eastwood classics. Casablanca is one of my all-time favorite movies that my dad and I loved to watch when I was a kid. The Good, the Bad, the Ugly is like one of my absolute favorites. So many films. Even up until modern times, like Gladiator is one of my favorite movies. I just love films that are, give us so much hope and these massive struggles and these journeys that people go on and they're triumphant in the end. And, stories like that just really move me to the core.
Awesome. Cobra Kai's David is a serious bully. How do you justify a character's actions when they're the bad guy?
It's interesting because these guys are human, right? So there's usually something that's happened to them in their own past that has caused them to become this bully. So it's either fear or someone bullied them. David was probably bullied by his father, which I kind of created like a little backstory to that, was pushing him to being like the football and be the best he can and, show no mercy. And that was probably something that came from his father. And then it's just, oh, my dog's barking. Hang on one sec. Brody, come here. No. Stay.
You can bring the dog on, You could bring the dog
Brody,
on.
Come here, Brody. And so he'll come in at some point. But so he was probably bullied by his dad, and that's what caused him to do the things that he does. And I think that you have to remember, even like movies like The Joker, with like Joaquin Phoenix and stuff, that shows like the development of where they started, because they were just these, these normal guys at some point. And then all of a sudden they were picked on, or they were bullied, or they were, brought to the ground by something devastating. And then all of a sudden they need someone to take it out on, or something like that. So those are some of the things that come to mind when I'm playing a character like that.
That's crazy. Because did you make up a backstory about driving Mr. Miyagi's car?
So that was talked about a lot. when we were on the set, and then afterwards. I didn't even know that that was going to happen when I was on set, and that was something that, like, I think Josh Heald came up to me. He's like, "Oh yeah, and by the way, this is going to be the original car that like." I have a pit bull, by the way. It's a big dog. It's why you hear him gulping in the background.
Right on.
So, you know, they told me, I came to set and they said, "Oh, by the way, this is the car that like Daniel drove in the original Karate Kid." We were like, "This is crazy. This is like the most insane Easter egg ever." And then I was like, "Well, how did I get the car?" And they were like, "Well, we're still trying to figure that out." So, you know, we were like, "Oh, maybe I sold it to Miyagi later on in life at some point when he first came to Los Angeles or something, to the Valley." So who knows? Maybe we'll see that in future episodes of something.
Awesome. So David has to fight a young Kreese. Were you familiar with any sort of fight training, or was it something you had to learn?
I think that David, you know, being an athlete, he's a tough guy. He really is. Even though he got his ass kicked by Kreese, which was, you know, well deserved. You know, he's used to like getting in fights and wanting to be in fights, and he does a lot of like street brawls, and that was kind of the style that they wanted when we were doing it. You know, they didn't want to have like too much of this like trained karate in this fight. It wanted to be like you know, it was in the back of this restaurant. It was you know, an alleyway street brawl. You know, it was dirty, you know, it was messy, throw them in the garbage. And so they wanted that. And so I think David's toughness kind of came through in those scenes. And, you know, obviously he was, you know, the loser at the end. But, you know, I think it was also important that, you know, Kreese had an opponent at the time that was, you know, a big guy who was tough, you know, a respectable opponent to what he was, you know, going to do to him.
Nice. Now, what is your most vivid memory of going to film, you know, to actual film sets, you know, as a child? Because you went with your dad a lot, right?
All the time. I loved going to set. It was amazing. And I always wanted to go to movie sets, hands down, instead of going to school. Because he was always filming when I was in school. And there would be like maybe a time or period of weekend. He'd be like, "You want to come to the set this weekend or come out of school for the week? We'll figure out how to do it with the teachers." I was like, yes, I do. I want to leave school. I want to come to set, whatever it was, you know, whether he was doing a Western or some drama, anywhere, an action movie. I just always wanted to go. And I was always watching with like big eyes, like learning at the same time. And it was like magic. Every time I would go to the movie set, it was like I was in this like Disneyland for me. It was always so fun and creative. And so like some of the earliest memories is like my dad did this movie with like Dennis Hopper in Las Vegas. And I remember going there as a kid and like, you know, we were in Las Vegas and he was doing a movie and it was this action, like bank heist movie. And it was so much fun. And then like when he did a Western when I was younger, I think with Kenny Rogers, you know, it was just seeing him in all this cowboy getup. And I was like, wow, like, that's my dad. It was just it was incredible.
That sounds incredible. How did your peers handle your father being in the Karate Kid franchise? Did they think it was cool or did they pick on you?
Who are we talking about exactly?
Your peers.
Oh, I see. I think it was always brought up a lot of questions. Like people loved it. I think, you know, they like to be close, near, like, you know, the sensei and all that. But I think it raised a lot of questions with people. They always wanted to know, is he really like that in real life? Is he, you know, is he mean like that? And I said, yeah, if he stubs his toe or something, or like he gets a flat tire, John Kreese kind of comes out, you know. And David even comes out in the same kind of moments. I think it just people liked it. It was exciting for people, you know, to be around that, and then to kind of have it come around again during Cobra Kai. It's exciting, you know, for people, and we love it. You know, my dad, you know, he loves talking to people about it. He loves talking to people about it, you know, in an artistic way. Same with me. Like we always have these conversations about like the journeys of the characters and where they are today and why they came in at this time and where they're going, you know?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to take a quick break and we're going to come back with Jessie Cove.
We're back with Jessie Cove with Mupo and Friends.
So Kreese is quite the disciplinarian, right? And When you were growing up, was he like that at all? Was he very, disciplined? Like, were you doing karate when you were a kid? And
I did do karate when I was a kid. Absolutely. I have a twin sister, Rachel. We did karate when we were younger, which was a lot of fun. We always were in sports. I consider myself like an athlete. I've been in the gym since I was like, 16 and always playing baseball, soccer, basketball, and as well as, some martial arts peppered in there when I was younger. And the funny thing is, like, my dad, he came from like literally from nothing, from the streets of New York. Sounds like a movie trailer, right? He came from nothing, from the streets of New York. And he had this mentality of like the hustle, right? And getting things going and not taking a no for an answer, because he essentially, he came up to where he is today, and with all the success he's had, and he's never had to do anything else his whole life but be an actor. And I respect that greatly. And that's taken a lot of hard work, as this business is extremely tough. So my dad's a very sweet man. And I would say during like sports and trying to achieve our goals when we were younger, he would always push us to be the best that we can and to be tough in the appropriate ways that it's needed for life, because life can bring you down. So, he would always use the example of like when he was younger, he had to like, work for his lunch money and things like that. Or, he wanted to get like a sandwich on the corner that was like, $1.50 at the time. And he only had $1.25. And so he had to like work to get that extra 25 cents. And so it's stories like that motivate me today. And so he definitely had a motivating aspect for us in life.
Awesome. You mentioned you have a twin sister. What can you tell us about the special bond between twins?
It's the special bond between twins is very real. My sister and I are very, very close. I actually got her initials tattooed on my wrist. It's ROK, Rachel Olivia Cove, and she's my rock, because she's been with me through my entire life. And I'm going through life with her at the same time. So we're like a bouncing board for each other throughout these different periods of life. It's really interesting. And she's a wonderful person. She has helped shape who I am today. And we have a very close bond, and definitely there's a connection that's like otherworldly. Like, if I get sick, she gets sick. If I'm thinking about something, she's thinking about the exact same thing, or I think about her, she calls me. It's really crazy. There's definitely an energetic thing that's going on that we can't explain. And you can just like sense how they're feeling without them being in the room. It's really weird. So yeah, we have a great connection.
That's cool.
Kind of like Brendan and Brandon on 90210. Right? So as a producer and an actor, as night comes, how is the experience different from just playing a role in a production?
So I had a small part in that movie, a great movie, a teen crime drama written by Ryan Cohen and Richard Zelniker, who also directed it. Incredible movie that, similar to Cobra Kai, deals with a lot of like bullying and, teenage, heightened senses of like, popularity and identity. And that movie dealt a lot with that. And it's still, like, if you watch it today, it still is the same situations that people are dealing with today. And so being behind the camera, which I love, it's another experience because you're wearing all these different hats, and being a producer is all about like literally making a movie from nothing. Like, you're producing, like, that's literally the definition of like producing, is to create something.
Exactly.
So you're either bringing money in, getting this actor here, making sure he's fed, making sure the camera guy has what he needs, whatever it is. And that's what a producer does, is all these different hats. And if they have to jump in, say a line in the movie, like, great, they can do that too. And so it's I love that whole experience. It's a rush. And I'd like to do what like Ben Affleck has done later on in life. I'd love to direct, as well. And I have, but I want to, on a bigger scale like that would be great. And I want to tell stories that are, again, meaningful, that move people, and entertaining for people as well. And it's a really great learning experience as well. I swear there's nothing like making movies. It's extremely, extremely difficult. And if you want to be put through some kind of a boot camp, go and make a movie.
That's awesome.
That's true. That's true.
You've done a few Lifetime movies. How does the process vary from making a feature film?
Well, the Brody, it's okay. Okay. So the Brody, come here. No. He's gonna bark. Hold on. He's a big boy. I know. He's a big baby.
I'm a big
come
animal
here.
lover.
Are you are?
Yeah.
Brody, come here.
I have 3 French bulldogs at my day job.
Oh my God, I'm a huge Frenchie fan.
Yeah, I have to
It's
send
okay,
you some
Bubba.
pictures.
Come here. It's okay. So, no, sorry guys. No. Come here. He's usually sleeping like a baby. I forgot what I was talking about. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the Lifetime movies. Yeah. So doing the features. Features versus what, TV? You mean?
The Lifetime movies, yeah.
They're a lot of fun. I've done several of them. I have another one coming up. I always have a great time doing them. There's a lot of passion behind them. There's always a lot of drama, which is always a lot of fun. And there's thrillers and romance. The last one I did was a Christmas movie, which is always so sweet and nice. We did that in Big Bear, which was so much fun. And then the one after that I did was a thriller, which was just a blast. I love, playing characters and doing, dealing with all the drama that goes on. And they just pump these movies out. They do I think it's 5 a month or something crazy like that. And they just push them out. So it's nice to work with a kind of like a wheelhouse like that knows what they're doing, and they're pretty fast about everything. So when you jump into a movie like the Lifetime stuff, you're usually working with a crew that's been doing this for the last 6 months, pumping out 2 or 3 movies a month. And so you got to be ready when you're there, to jump right in and get going.
Awesome.
So you did some theater as well, specifically the Columbine Project.
Columbine Project.
Columbine.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. So
that's okay. That's okay.
Are you interested in going back to theater at all, or?
Yes, I love theater. That play specifically was actually done here in Hollywood, and then I got picked up and took it to New York, and we did off Broadway for several months, which was probably one of the best experiences of my life. Was as a young actor in LA to go to New York to do a play. To me, theater is the ultimate, thespian stage where an actor can perform his true craft. And the most difficult thing you'll ever do as an actor is theater, because you're on stage, you've got, whether it's 500 people or 200 people or more in front of you, and you only get one shot. Once that curtain comes up, you're on, and you can't call cut, you can't get another take.
Yeah,
you got to just do it and roll with it. And every night is different, and it definitely sends chills throughout your body, but it's also a riveting experience because you can feel the energy from the audience, and you can, really, it's just such an amazing playground to do that with other actors as well, because you're all in the same playing field together and helping each other out. And I recommend that for anyone is to do theater. I don't do enough of it, and I wish I could do more right now, and I want to at some point. So absolutely love theater. Best training ground you can ever have. I always say people that do theater can do anything.
Can you sing though, as well?
I like
you look
to
like
sing.
You look like you could sing.
Other than in the shower and stuff like that, I love. I sing throughout the day when I'm in the car, but I'm not theatrically trained, and with singing and stuff like that. But it's something that I would love to do more of, and yeah.
You've acted with your dad in several films and have said DDay, Battle of Omaha Beach is your favorite. Why?
The DDay film I did was, I took that movie really personally. It's actually the poster right here, funny enough. And because of the subject matter of the movie, I'm a huge World War II fan, and I'm a big advocate for the military and stuff like that. And
yes.
and yeah. And it's I really wanted to portray these characters and really show what these guys obviously went through and what they dealt with. And I wanted to really do them justice, because the D-Day is such an important piece of history. And the character that I was playing, Staff Sergeant Leonard Lamel, real guy, passed away, so I would have reached out to him if I could. And I tried to get a hold of his family, but I didn't get an answer back, unfortunately. But I just really wanted to tell the stories of these men and these men and women that fought during that time for the liberation of Europe and the world. And the interesting thing when I was doing that movie, it was because it was really tough. It was physically draining. We're running on the beaches and we have all this gear and we're getting dirty and it's messy and it's emotional at the same time. And you're literally going to like war. And every day I would always like say to myself, well, these guys, had to do this in real life. I cannot complain about a damn thing, even though I was exhausted. That's kind of like what got me through that movie. And also my dad came to set and we were able to get him a really fun, small part in there with he and I that they wrote in like in a day. And so that was meaningful too. It was the first time he'd ever been in a World War II movie. So it was nice for me to be able to like gift that to him in a way. It was an incredible experience. I'm very, very proud of that movie.
Very interesting. Because, I'm the founder of the Keep the Peace Project. So
okay.
I wrote a song called Keep the Peace, which it's going to be like a We Are the World. And we are going to raise money and revamp the homes of the veterans, make it handicap accessible. And we are going to buy buildings and put homeless people in there as well as veterans as well. So that's my thing. God. I support the troops 24/7. It's because of them that we're able to do these things right here. It's because of them that we're able to go eat anywhere. And I'm so blessed that you said that that's just dynamic. And you traveled a lot with your father as well. Like what places have you visited, and what, like what was your favorite place to visit when you traveled with him? Was it New York?
Probably, I love going to New York. Probably India. We went to India a while ago. He did a movie out there. It was an unbelievable experience. I mean, I flew into like Thailand and then you fly into India and then we were there for like 3 weeks and we went to see the Taj Mahal. And funny enough, I even have a little booklet that I actually got when I was actually this little booklet that I got from India, funny enough. You love this, actually. It's really cute. Inside it says, to Jesse, I hope you loved this trip with me as much as I did. Love, Daddy. And this was like a little Taj Mahal. And I was younger when I did that. And it was just like, it was literally like you were dropped into another world. I mean, it's incredible, the culture and, the food and everything. It's just it's a whole nother experience. And I love traveling. I think there's nothing better for a person than traveling, getting to experience other people in their environments, and the similarities between them, and also the things that are alike. India was a huge one. And then I went with my dad, we went to Bulgaria. He filmed out there, which was really a blast. We just do a lot of laughing when we travel together. It's like we make jokes and we laugh about the experience of it all. And it's just like two kids at like summer camp. It's really fun.
Awesome. So you worked with legend Kevin Smith in Max Reload and the Nether Blasters, which involves video games. Were you familiar with the world of video games already?
Totally. Love working with Kevin. One of my favorite movies I've done, directed by Scott Condit and Jeremy Tramp. They're really good friends of mine. They actually directed my dad and I in a short film, which you guys should watch on Amazon, called Show No Mercy. My dad kind of plays the same character, John Kreese, that's kind of like winked at. It's a short film, really fun. We both get trapped into a video game and then we fight each other to get out. It's really funny. So anyway, that kind of seeing us together in that, they ended up making this movie, the Kevin Smith movie. And I've been playing video games since I was a kid. I love it. It's fun. It's creative. I love all that. So when they told me that they wanted me to play this character, who's like this really funny, like, just energetic, nice guy, but a jock, but also like, he's kind of full of himself, but he's not, but you love him. He's lovable. I was like, yes, absolutely. Because I love doing comedy. Comedy doesn't come around a lot for me. So when I get a chance to do it, I love to play funny characters. I like making people laugh. So that was a great time. And Kevin literally made me laugh all day when we were working with him. He came in and he's just such a funny guy, and he's kind. He's such a professional, and he's been around the block 100 times, making different indie movies and stuff that he's been a part of. So definitely a cherished moment for sure.
All right, we're going to take a commercial break and we'll be right back.
And we're back with Jesse Cove from Cobra Kai. So your passion project is a Western with your dad. Can you tell us anything about this project and when it's going to come out?
Well, I have several passion projects. That's one of them, of course, is to do a period piece with my dad like that on a longer evolution of our story, and another one is like another drama that I like, that's really great, and then like an action picture too. But there's a lot of stuff that I want to do. But my dad and I have always wanted to play like either partners or father and son in like a Western, maybe like a revenge movie or something like that. I don't want to give away the story because it's really compelling. But it's definitely like it's a buddy movie in a sense, but also like, with some really deep familial ties and aspects that are really going to be amazing for people to watch. And we just both love Western. So it's just great.
You've done a lot of interviews on Cobra Kai. Is there any question you wish you'd been asked but weren't?
Interesting question. That's a good one. I like that. I have done so many interviews with so many different questions. I feel like if the one comes up, it always will surprise me. But a question that always comes up, I don't know. The funny one is always like, is your dad a bully in real life? That's always a funny question. And then, I just always like talking about, especially with Cobra Kai, aside from, other things, is like how inspiring that show is, because it's almost like it's never been done before. It's to take the same characters from a movie 35 years old, bring them back to TV today, have it be as successful as it is, because clearly people love it. And need it in their life, because it's there's the nostalgic aspect to it. It's a time, in the 80s when those films were out, and I think now that they're introducing it to a younger audience as well, it's like just coming full circle. It's just really an incredible movement that's happened with Cobra Kai and Karate Kid. It's really, and they're doing a Broadway play, Karate Kid Broadway play, which is going to be insane. I mean, who knows? We'll have Karate Kid phones and Karate Kid TV and Karate Kid, I don't even know, airlines, Cobra Kai Airlines. That would actually be great.
That would be great.
Who would want to fly Cobra Kai Air? So who knows? All this great stuff.
That is pretty funny. When you said that, I was picturing like that little Mr. Miyagi car and a Barbie doll of you coming out, like little.
Yeah, I love it.
That would make tons of money. Are you kidding me?
They have the dolls. They do. I mean, all this, the fans and the Comic-Con world. I'm going to be in Texas in October for the Big Tex Comic-Con convention there. My dad will be with me as well. We're going to be next to each other, which will be great. You'll have the bully and his bully, which will be really funny. Nice. Which I don't know if that's been done. So that's exciting. But yeah, I mean, it's like the dolls, the fans, the Cobra Kai fans are just. They're so incredible. I've never experienced anything like it. It's like the Marvel universe fandom. They're so passionate and they love every single piece of these characters in the show. And obviously the show wouldn't be where it is without them. So it's a great relationship that we all have.
Well, I'll have to bring you guys in when we do the Staten Island Super Sign and the New Jersey.
Yes, that would be great.
I'll definitely bring you guys, because
when is that?
I don't know, because we're waiting for COVID to, like, right now there's a section in Edison, New Jersey that we would normally rent out and do a convention there, and they're doing the vaccination shots. There's military men. I went in there to get my vaccine. I got to tell you this, I felt so safe. There was over 100 military people there. Every 6 feet, there was a military person there guiding you, telling you, and it was unbelievable. I suggest everybody get vaccinated.
Yeah, I totally understand. I already had it, so I have the antibodies. So I've never even said that before. It's the first time I've ever said that on an interview. But
I heard this on Mupo and Friends. I think we all must have had it. You know what I'm saying, and not realize it. I
think so. I mean, unfortunately, I actually lost a movie. I went and got tested, and then I don't know. It's a weird situation. I want to get too into it, but like I was positive, and then I had false negatives, and then I had positives, and so I was like, and then I started feeling like the physical aspect, and I was like, all right, I probably have COVID, and then I dealt with it, and then eventually got tested later on. What didn't have it anymore, but I was kind of glad that I was able to just go through that process. Other people unfortunately had the worst outcome from it, but I was thankful that I was able to go through the process and naturally, and just have that and just move forward from that.
Yeah, thank God. Now, you have several up and coming projects. Can you tell us what they are so we can promote them?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. So I got a really great. We were talking about another film. I think it's going to be on Lifetime. I'm almost positive. Called. Well, actually, the title changed. It used to be called Recipe for Abduction, and now it's called. I forget what it is. Something Abduction. Now they literally changed the title. I just saw it the other day.
They do that a lot. You know that, right?
I know, right? Hold on. I posted about it. How is this terrible that I just forgot the name of the movie? I hope nobody listens to that aspect. Sorry. A Deadly Abduction used to be called The Recipe for Abduction. Now it's called A Deadly Abduction. Will come out, I think, in the next month or two. Super excited about that movie. Also, I was in New York filming a dance movie, which was fantastic to do, called Ask Me to Dance. Really, really great film. Very excited about that. I did that with my friend Mario Cantoni, who was actually on Sex and the City. Lovely man, great to work with. And also, I'm going back out to New York. I got cast in this series on Amazon called Gravesend. They're going into their second season. It's all about like gangsters in New York and Miami in the late 80s. I'm so excited about this project. So a lot of great stuff. A couple of things I don't want to get too much into, but it's been a very busy year for me. Thankfully, I'm super grateful that, with everything that's been going on this year for me. So it's a lot of good stuff coming out.
Awesome. So maybe we need to get you out here when you're on the East Coast. We need to get you some, gigs. Maybe we can get you in Sirius or something. Some radio
absolutely.
shows.
I'll be there in August.
Okay. I'll remember that.
Okay.
We're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be right back with the conclusion. Welcome back with Jessie Cove. Jessie, before we wrap things up, I have one more question for you.
All right.
What was your favorite set piece or prop that you would have loved to keep?
Ooh, well, I'll give you two. One that I took, and probably one that I wish I had. So couple of them. When I did a movie in China with Joseph Fiennes called On Wings of Eagles, another World War II movie. Incredible movie, probably might be the biggest movie I'll ever do, potentially. We'll see. It was just a massive, massive film. And we shot that over there for about 3 months. And there was my character in this scene. It's all about, they took, people in prison camps, World War II, blah, blah. I lost a lot of weight. It was a grueling film, but incredible, incredible movie. My character made this ring for his wife in the movie when they were in a prison camp, and he made this ring out of like wire to like propose to her in the prison camp. And he had this harmonica that he played that was part of his character, and they like use that sound when, unfortunately my character passes away, but they use that music for him like when he passes. And so I kept those two things as like the little mementos. And then when I was doing D-Day, I bought a lighter that was from the time period that they would use, because I smoked cigarettes in the movie, and I kept that lighter. And something that I wish that I kept the varsity jacket that I wore in Cobra Kai. I don't know where it is. I'm sure, because I've seen the costumer so many times over the last couple of years. I will, hopefully I can get it back. But I wish that I kept that jacket, because it would have been just, not only, it's like a piece of like Cobra Kai and Karate Kid, like cinema history, that jacket, because it crosses worlds, it would be, I was in the car with that jacket. I was fighting young Kreese in that jacket. It's like, that jacket's like a time machine. So I want to get that back.
Awesome. Thank you, Jessie. It's been a pleasure visiting with you. Look for Jessie in Cobra Kai on Netflix, the upcoming A Deadly Abduction on Lifetime, Bring Me a Dream on Tubi TV or Amazon Prime, and DDay Battle of Omaha Beach and Max Reload and the Nether Blasters on Amazon Prime. You can follow, like, and subscribe to Jessie on Facebook under Jessie Cove, on Instagram at Jessie Cove, on Twitter at Jessie Cove, and at his website, www.jessiecove.net. As always, thank you for tuning in to Mupo and Friends, courtesy of Mupo TV. You can watch this show and others at www.mupoentertainment.com. That's www.mupoentertainment.com. This is Jessilyn Persson with our host,
Michele Mupo.
Until next time.
We want you to have a Mupo awesome time.